So this is me just coming through with a little tidbit in regards to why I believe that Paul George and Kawhi Leonard's performance in Game 7 against the Nuggets was pre-written and it was planned for them to do that. Mind you, Paul George scores 10 points. Kawhi Leonard scored 14 points. That's 24 points. Kobe Bryant, right? The last time that Kobe Bryant was in the Western Conference Finals, it was against the Phoenix Suns. Obviously, the Phoenix Suns aren't in the playoffs. So who better than to make it to the Western Conference Finals than the Denver Nuggets? This was pre-planned because it was all based in the tribute to Kobe Bryant. I had to come back and realize, based off of me looking at the stats, that this was a ritual. This was ritualistic. There's no way that you have a Game 7 and your main superstar doesn't come through, and he's known for coming through. Mind you, last year, Kawhi Leonard was in a Game 7 against the Philadelphia 76ers. A better team than these Nuggets to me, right? And he came through for them last year. Now, obviously, that was a part of the programming because that shot that took place at the end of that game when it was bouncing off the rim, that was fake. That was fake. If you go on YouTube and look at the way that shot went in, there's no way that was real. People talk about the magnetic balls. You look at a commercial from 2007 in which a man was basically mocking the fact that, yes, the basketballs do have magnets in them. Not saying that every basketball game is played, the basketball has magnets in it, but with certain components, with certain games that they want to be rigged, yes, they manipulate the balls. In that game last year, that's 100% proof that the basketballs are manipulated. There's no way that shot go in a real basketball game. It just does not happen that way. Just based off the way that shit was just bouncing off the rim like that, so high, there's no way that it bounces off the rim high like that and bounces on the rim again. It should bounce off and go to the floor. In a real setting, that's how you know that this is all bullshit. This is all pre-planned. It is not to take away from the understanding of the sports aspect in which these players, they do play hard. But for the most part, some of them are programmed. Some of them are brought up in the program and they have to basically do things that's based in, what the handler tells them. It's no way. How the fuck these two great players, they combined for 24 points. This was a tribute to Kobe Bryant because they lost to the Denver Nuggets. Colorado, the Denver Nuggets. Kobe Bryant played the Denver Nuggets in the 2009 Western Conference Finals. He advanced to the finals to face the Orlando Magic. We are in the Orlando bubble. Dwight Howard is on the Orlando Magic. This is all a tribute to Kobe Bryant. That's what this was about. People are shaming the Clippers and laughing at them, saying that y'all collapsed and this and that. No, they know what really happened. They understand what really happened. They have to tell the masses that, oh my God, the Clippers cursed and this and that. No, it's pre-programmed and pre-written for LeBron James to win this championship. Or it could be programmed for the Nuggets to upset the Lakers. It's all based around the worship and the tribute to Kobe being Bryant. That's what it's all about. It's no coincidence. These players, they combined for 24 points and they had 10 rebounds. We know Kobe wore number 10 in USA. It's crazy, man. Let me read. Let me just read, because sometimes you get a little riled up when you understand how to spot shit. And it's so obvious. This shit is so obvious. It's obvious. The Clippers were the lesser team in Game 7 against the Nuggets. They had a double-digit lead in the first half, but they were only up 2 at halftime. And then Denver went on what has become a patented second-half run to take control in the third quarter, eventually winning comfortably. Here are 3 stats that stand out from LA's season-ending loss. Now, what's the odds that you come back from 3-1 twice in the same playoffs? Now, mind you, listen. I could be wrong. This could be something to where the Denver Nuggets, they just had heart and they was resilient. But come on, bro. It's no coincidence that the NBA said, you know what? Let's make Denver go on this little run. So it can pay tribute to Kobe Bryant. We can't have the Lakers face against the Clippers because it's not going to fit into the Kobe narrative. So let the Clippers lose because they choked, but it was all planned. They missed those shots that were supposed to go in because of basket manipulation. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Paul George has shot a three from the side that hit the fucking back of the backboard. There's no way a professional basketball player shoots a shot like that unless he's missing that shit on purpose. You people have to wake up, man. Like, for real. This NBA shit is a bunch of, this shit is a story. It's a story. That's all it is. And then the Miami Heat, they'll probably beat the Celtics, right? And it'll be the same narrative because Kobe played a Florida team. So they'll probably want LeBron James to play a Florida team. And also, you guys can check out my video that I did about, why I believe the Miami Heat will face the Lakers based off of the sacrifice that occurred with one of the members of Kool and the Gang. But yeah, man, let me read on, man. I'm sorry, let me read on. So yeah, the pace of the game was 92.5. Before the game, Joe Von Buha of the Athletic pointed out that the pace of the game had been a strong predictor, of which team would have an advantage. The Clippers averaged 102.2 possessions during the regular season, 8th most in the league, compared to 97.6 for the Nuggets. Denver got that pace down to 94.5 over the past 3 games, and Game 7 was played even slower than that. Even slower than that, it tells you that Game 7 was played. Why? Because it was staged. Not saying that they had like certain roles as far as, okay, you go here, you go here, you go here. No, but they had to miss those shots, man. They wanted the Nuggets to come back so they can create this aura of, oh my God, these guys, they're resilient. They come back from 3-1, so they can face the Lakers just like Kobe faced the Nuggets in 2009. It's all revolved around Kobe, man. It's all revolved around Kobe Bryant. So let's continue on. The Nuggets are at their best when they are deliberate, working the shot clock to find every possible passing angle. And that's a fact. They are at the best at that when it comes to working with the shot clock and trying to get the best shot. They take their time with the ball. To make to one final cut to break the defense, the Clippers like to force turnovers and run and attack mismatches in early offense. The Nuggets won the pace battle and they won the game. LA couldn't keep up with Denver, but that wasn't because the Nuggets were beating the Clippers up and down the floor. Rather, they were beating them horizontally, exploiting all the gaps in the half court against an LA defense that clearly wasn't on the same page. Yeah, Nikola Jokic was basically picking them apart with his passing. But it was all part of the plan, man. You guys got to look at that game again, man. There's no way. Like, these shots that typically go in for Kawhi, they were not going in. And it was purposeful. It's no coincidence, man. Let's continue on, though. This is from Doc Rivers. You hope that you can you can lean on your defense, Doc Rivers said post-game. And I just didn't think, even though the numbers say we are a good defensive team, I just think we all didn't realize that part of our game. We all didn't realize that part of our game at all. So it says here, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George combined for 24 points. This was a Kobe tribute. The main reason to feel confident in the Clippers heading into Game 7 was because of Kawhi Leonard's experience on this stage. Right. That's why it was so shocking to me. Like, yo, listen, something ain't right. He was programmed, man. Just like James Harden in 2017. Just last season, he was in a Game 7 in the conference semifinals with the majority of his teammates terrified of the moment. No one on that Toronto team wanted to take a shot. So Leonard took 39, including the final jumper that bounced around 4 times before giving his team the win. Now, mind you, when you look at that clip of that ball bouncing, it has Marc Gasol, Tobias Harris, and I believe you have the guy on the Philadelphia Sixers who wears number 11 and Serge Ibaka who wears number 9. Now, Tobias Harris and Marc Gasol, they both wear number 33. So this is how you know that shot was ritualistic, because the people that was under the rim, they wanted those numbers to be conveyed to the masses because of the energy that's being channeled when it comes to these basketball games that we watch. Whether y'all believe it or not, they believe in those Luciferian energies and they do get power from it. Like LeBron James, when he throw up his Illuminati hand signs, that's all based on him getting power from that dark side. Whether y'all believe it or not, you do get power from it. It's just that it's not good for you to receive power from it because the Most High He's going to rebuke you in it. But at the end of the day, yes, they do get power from all the esoteric energy. So with that being said, it's like, yo, we understand that most of the shit that we see is not necessarily what we see, if you get what I'm saying. So let's continue on. But that Leonard, was not the one who showed up for the Clippers. He tried his best to win the game for his team, but he was unable to. Part of the problem was missing good shots. He drove to the basket repeatedly, but only made 4 of 10 field goal attempts to the paint. 4 of 10, 41. You understand the gematria effect. You understand numerology when it comes to the entertainment industry. They don't necessarily look at the zero when it comes to like certain numbers. Like if you have 410, but you want a certain narrative to be pushed or a certain energy to be pushed, they'll just highlight the 41. So 4 for 10, we know what? 41. Kobe Bryant died at the age of 41, right? 4 for 10 field goal attempt in the paint. His 3-point jumper was a little off throughout the playoffs. He converted 32.9% of his threes compared to 37.8% during the regular season. Leonard missed 7 of his 9 threes. So he only made 2 threes. So that's 6 threes. I mean, that's 6 points off of threes, right? And crucially, didn't get to the free throw line once en route to 14 points. So he had 14 points. Paul George was arguably worse. He only had 10 points and only had 2 assisted compared to Leonard's 6, right? So he said he only had 10 points and only had 2 assisted compared to Leonard's 6. Oh, assists, He had 2 assists and Leonard had 6 assists. So that's 8 assists. They combined for 8 assists. This is crazy, man. Number 8. They combined for 24 points, 8 assists, and 10 rebounds. People, this is all for Kobe Bryant. This was a ritual for Kobe Bryant. That's what this was. His likely smooth jumper abandoned him to the tune of 2 for 11 shooting from distance. And the most memorable takeaway from his performance was his foul trouble. There was no debate about a third score when the first 2 combined for less than number 1 option. Leonard and George needed to be better. They didn't deliver. The Clippers scored 33 points. 33 points in the second half. Kobe Bryant wore number 33 in high school. This was a tribute to Kobe Bryant. That's what this was. This was a tribute to Kobe Bryant. George said after the game that he didn't think the previous games were weighing on the Clippers, but a lot of the same beats from Game 5 and 6 played out in Game 7. The Clippers had a double-digit lead, and the Nuggets roared back. In Game 6, the Clippers scored 35 second-half points, which seemed near impossible for this offense. They outdid themselves with 33 in the second half of Game 7. Come on, man. This is the Clippers we're talking about. Not saying that they're the greatest team of all time or nothing like that, but listen, man. There's no way in a real world, when you just watch 2 basketball players play, and we know who's who, there's no way that the Clippers lose that. This is all based off of the esoteric energy. That's why Kawhi Leonard didn't make a big deal, of his loss. Even though, Kawhi Leonard always has that stoic demeanor, but it's very glaring. We know that this is all a Kobe tribute. This LA team did not look like it was fighting for its playoff lives. Mark Spears reported that Clippers players were asking out of the game in the fourth quarter, unable to play more than a few minutes at a time. The team missed its first 11 shots of the final period. Altogether, the team had a 76.7, 76. What do we think of when we think of 76? We think of that helicopter, that aircrafter, right? I forget the name of it, but it was like something 76B, right? LeBron James plays against the 76ers. Before the sacrifice occurred, a lot of connections here, man. 76.7 offensive rating in the second half, and an unacceptable 76.7 offensive rating of 33 points scored. Kobe Bryant tribute. An unacceptable number for a team that fancied itself a title contender. Several Clippers were so fatigued during Game 7 against Denver that they struggled to play stints longer than 3 minutes and asked out of the game for a breather in the fourth quarter, sources told. All right, so yeah, man, this is just a little video based off of me wanting to give y'all a certain understanding as to why this 2020 playoffs is based on the Kobe effect. It's all based off of the Kobe effect and the Kobe tribute. So yeah, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard combined for 24 points for the tribute of Kobe Bryant. Whether you want to believe that or not, hey, that's you. But if you understand what this world is all about, and then you understand the energies that they want to push in regards to ritual sacrifices and magic and blood sacrifice, so on and so forth, then it's not a surprise to you. It's just something that you point out and you try to have people understand to the best of your ability. So yeah, peace, you guys, and thank you all for your viewership. Peace.